Hear ye, attention castle fans, for it is your Studlord here with an announcement. For today, we're gonna wiggle Majesto's wand and stare deep into the depth of his crystal balls to see what castle theme sets LEGO may bring us next. But to look into the future, we must first take a look at the past, as it's here that LEGO heavily draws from in this area. Now, I won't go through all the sets there have been, but some main ones are builds I do remember growing up with and were huge contributors to my getting into LEGO. Now, Castle of course all started with set 375, the original yellow castle in 1978. I never had one, and boy, it'd be cool to have a sealed copy. They are worth a bob or two. But then in 1984 we got the King's Castle, set 6080. Now, the cheapest option for a new one on Bricklink currently is $3,000. This castle introduced us to the first faction of knights that would inspire many years of play, the Lion Knights. In fact, this set was the main inspiration behind 2022's Lion Knights Castle. Then, the same year, we got the rival faction with 6073 Black Falcon Knights Castle, and then, in 1986, set 6074, their fortress, which was also re-released in 2002 under set number 10039. But also, in 1984, we got the Blacksmith's Forge in the tiny set 6040, which would be massively upscaled for 2021 in the LEGO Ideas reimagining that was set 21325. But these initial factions were not enough. So in 1988 we got the Black Knights with set 6085, the Black Monarch's Castle, and in 1992 was 6086 Black Knight's Castle, the former being $3,000 and latter $5,000 as the cheapest available on Bricklink for sealed sets currently. Then, in 1987, we gained something for lovers of green tights, set 6066 Camouflaged Outpost, the hideout of the Forestmen. And 1 year later came 6054, the Forestmen's hideout. Of course, in 2023, LEGO gave us a modern day take on this hideout in set 40567. But we also needed some marauders, so in 1992 we got the Wolf Pack with a small number of sets, the biggest being their fortress in set 6075. But of course, adventure is nothing without dragons, and so we got the Dragon Knights faction in 1993 with their fire-breathing fortress set 6082. We also met Magisto with his original magical workshop in set 6048. LEGO would of course give us this anew as a GWP in 2023 under set number 40601. Then in 1995 we saw the Royal Knights, a sub-theme of a few small sets, the most impressive being 6090, the Royal Knights Castle, and very fine, upstanding and honourable it looked too. But we needed a truly terrifying figure, and so came the Batlord. In 1997, the Batlord's Castle 6097 became one of my own favourites, including the awesome Black Dragon and Maniacal Witch. Of course, the Batlord himself has risen again this year in LEGO's Series 25 collectible minifigures. Now, a few years later, in the year 2000, Knight's Kingdom launched, giving us King Leo's Castle, which was the perfect imagining of the fantasy castle. Now, the Ninjago theme, very different you might think from Castle, began properly in 2011. But long before then, in 1998 and 99, we saw a range of Castle sub-theme ninja sets. Now, these same ninjas would appear again in 2004's Castle of Morcia set 8781, a very strange but fun pairing. But now things become even more interesting considering the new sets we're getting, because if we wind forwards to 2007, we get a couple of very impressive sets for both play and display. 7094 King's Castle Siege and 7097 Trolls Mountain Fortress were fantasy-era castle sets I fondly remember. But guess what? Under the same castle sub-theme was another set which appeared in 2009, namely set 10193. The medieval market village. Yes indeed, the original inspiration of what we have been eagerly awaiting in March of 2024 when LEGO is releasing set 10332, the medieval town square. Then in 2011 we got 7189, the Mill Village Raid, which gave us not one goat but two, along with a pig, some chickens and an awesomely printed Shire horse. So take note LEGO, don't skimp on us in the new sets. Then in 2016 came Nexo Knights. Now here was a theme that that was harder to love by traditionalist castle fans, as it introduced a blend of futuristic mechanics that was very cool, but did clash with the feel of sub-themes that had gone before. The Fortrex, set 70317, being LEGO's own flagship choice referenced in 2022's Lion Knight's Castle. But of course that ended the run. Castle was no more, and Classic Castle had long dwindled into the mists of time. So, what next? We've had the Lion Knight's Castle, Magisto's Workshop, the Forestmen Hideout, Blacksmith's Forge, and now the medieval town square. Will LEGO end it here? Or will they give us castle fans more of what we want? In exchange for suitably large amounts of cash, of course. I don't know for sure, but I have been seeing things that look suspiciously like updated remakes of older sets. This, for example, which reminds me of 8778 Border Ambush or 6071 Forestman's Crossing. So, for me, the future of Castle is plain. Assuming we continue to get more now that LEGO has reopened the cookie jar, we only need to look back at some of the classic sets I've highlighted here to glimpse the most likely options for LEGO to refresh next. After all, the other factions need their castles too. But what do you think? Comment below, discuss what's likely and what's just wishful thinking, and of course, like, subscribe, pledge me your undying allegiance, and I'll see you on the next one.